morning, Green Spring. It is Tuesday, October 27 on this gray and wet and rainy, cold Tuesday. Aren't you glad you're inside watching Channel 6? I'm Elke Martin, your host, and with me is Lynn Keefe, Director of General Services, and I'm sure she has a lot to tell us. Good morning, Lynn.
Good morning, Elke. Good to be here.
Yes, I think so too. And I saw you yesterday at the exec coffee.
Yes.
And you had lots of questions, and so you know what people want to hear.
Yes.
About.
So I think one of the hot topics right now is Cox.
Absolutely.
So we're in the midst of the transition, so I thought I'd share a bit of information and hope to clarify. So you were at coffee with the execs, so you know I shared yesterday that we didn't get a good start when Cox began their install 2 weeks ago. So we've been troubleshooting and working closely with Cox to get them to adjust their process a bit and really help it make sense for residents.
Yeah.
So there may be some residents in Maple Creek and Forest View who are saying, well, I waited yesterday and they didn't show up. We're getting that fixed. So going forward, we don't want anyone to waste a day.
Yeah.
If your install is scheduled, we want to make sure it happens that day.
Yeah.
So the way the process has worked, last Friday we sent a memo to every resident and it talked a little bit about what to expect. So you'll get a pre-registration notice in your building, and by
Is that green sheet?
No, before the green sheet. So the pre-registration says it's coming. You need to set up an account.
Okay.
And to do that, you either call the 800 number, or through this Saturday, you can also go to the Jefferson between 8 and 3. And somebody will be there if you'd prefer not to do it over the phone.
It actually, on my flyer, it said 8 and 5. So it's really 8 and 3.
8 to 3.
Yeah, that's good to know, because then they go into dinner hours.
Yes, they'll throw us out.
And I tell you, I was there, I'm sorry to interrupt, I was there yesterday after the coffee with the exec, because I was already in that building. I went upstairs and it took all of 3 minutes, I think, to sign up.
It should be very quick.
It was really easy and simple.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also want to be clear, Cox has said that in order to set up your account, you will need to provide your social security number.
Yeah.
And some folks get a little concerned about that.
I
did.
did.
We do so much fraud education. But
well, everywhere you're told not to use your social, right? Or at most the last 4 digits.
Yes. It is standard practice in the industry. You should only provide it when you are initiating the call. So if somebody calls and asks you for it, you're not going to provide it. But when you call to set up your account, be prepared to provide that, or when you go to the Jefferson. After you do your your account setup, about 2-3 days after that, you're going to get that flyer, that scheduling flyer that says, here's the day your building is going to be installed.
And it'll hang on your door.
Yes. And when you get that, if in fact you've not set up your account yet, you've got a couple more days to do it.
Yeah.
If you don't set up your account and your install day comes, they're not going to install you. So,
Toast.
right. So don't think, oh, well, I'm just going to wait till they come and we'll worry about it then. You've got to set up your account. So when you can call the 800 number or go to the Jefferson. And the good news, we also had some concerns because they got a slow start and everybody was worried, well, gosh, I'm at the tail end and they're going to cut off DirecTV. So we have that extended.
Okay.
So no one will be without DirecTV unless there's a technical issue. But the contract with them is extended for those who have not been installed.
So you'll not run out of TV altogether.
Correct.
It's either going to be DirecTV extended or Cox will have started.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. And I know that the vendor is eagerly awaiting the equipment to be delivered to install the injection equipment so that Cox can broadcast this channel.
Oh, okay. I
Okay.
don't know what you just said. Injection?
That's the
maybe
equipment.
I don't need to know.
That's the equipment they have to install.
Oh, that's behind the scenes.
Yes.
I don't have to care about that.
You don't have to care about
Good.
that.
You know, the other reason why I went to the Jefferson is because so many people had mentioned go and get the larger remote
Yes.
because they have one and this new one is going to be so small. And I was wondering how small is so small, so I wanted to see it. And when you sign up over the phone, obviously you can't see
right.
it. It's easier for me to make a decision when I can actually
Yes.
see and touch. And that big remote is huge.
It's about the size of this paper.
So I was glad I went there because
Yes.
that's bigger than what I need.
Yes,
who
but for
knew?
some folks, there is no charge for that.
Yeah. It's good
Works
that they
well.
offer
Yes,
it.
yes. So you can let them know when you sign up, or you can ask when they install. The other thing that you will receive when they install is a number for tech support. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, if you have an issue, you'll be able to call an 800 number. They'll provide that to you and the numbers that you have to push to get your tech support, and they're very responsive. We've had, for folks who have used it, they've been very helpful.
Oh, really?
And if they can't help you over the phone, they will send someone out.
Okay.
Okay, so that's where we are. We should be fully installed by the completion of the second week in November. Things are moving better today. If you have questions and you call project management, just know that they are out in the field and they're getting about 50 to 80 phone calls a day, so it's hard for them to keep up with that. So just be patient, and they will get back with you.
Well, it creates some insecurity, this kind of turnover.
Yes.
So I understand why people would call in.
Yes, yes.
So as long as they know that somebody will get back to them
They will,
before
yes.
next year.
Yes, absolutely. They've been working very long days, so
Yeah.
we're pleased to see things are getting better. So
Good.
So another challenging area for us is parking.
Oh, it sure is.
Yes.
Yes.
And you know, we live in this DC metropolitan area. Parking is always an issue, but for us, it's even more challenging right now. Had a little confusion. You know, we've added numbers to the reserved spaces, and I shared yesterday, there are no other changes. There are no changes, period. All we did was add the number that's on the little curb plate to your reserved space. Only reserved spaces are numbered. We are keeping the red.
Thought it was a change is because some of the new ones don't have the red underneath.
Yes, the numbers got painted before. We're going to add that red band at the bottom, so we should have consistency. But we've also taken back some of the blue spaces to make sure that our residents have plenty of parking in their lots.
Yeah, well, there is not plenty of parking right now.
There's not.
In all reality.
Right.
But when you drive around, you can find some parking.
Yes.
I've sometimes have to go all the way up the hill, even though I live in Conner Terrace, but eventually I find something.
Once
It's
this
just an
parking deck is
inconvenient
done,
time, I
yes,
guess.
it is challenging right now. If you observe something that, you know, somebody's parking inappropriately or they're in your space, that's a call to security. If you see something that is more of a systemic issue, let me or a member of my team know, and we'll get that addressed.
Okay.
We are working feverishly to keep folks in the right spaces.
And I bet that's a chase that will never end, right? As always.
Parking is always a challenge. I can say that the oversized lot, which is between the employee garage and the garden area, that lot has been returned to employees and residents for use.
It's a small lot.
It is a small lot. It's about 22 spaces.
Oh, really?
So we had the buses there. We've returned them behind Garden Ridge. Now, if you go there today, folks are going to say, well, I can't park there. The crane is moving. If it hasn't moved already, it will be within the next hour. It was there doing some work, and we had to empty that lot.
The crane?
Working on the tower.
Oh, okay, the cell tower.
Yes, but otherwise, that lot provides a little bit more parking.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, that's by the dog park, right?
Yes,
Back
by
there.
the dog park, yes. So please be patient, work with us. You know, observe safety. If you see folks not doing that, please let us know, particularly if they're staff.
Yeah. Well, there are not much choices, right? We can work with you, or we can be annoyed. I think those are the two choices.
That's right. That's right. So, holiday lights are coming. Some folks saw some blue tape on trees, and we used that while they were mapping that out for our vendor. So
oh, that's what that means.
Yes.
I was wondering. I'm like, no, it can't mean that they're chopping down
No,
those trees.
no.
Oh, thank goodness.
And that's, so they got those marked, took that tape off. So don't worry.
Okay.
Those are trees that will have lights, and they were using that to help in their planning.
I may want to add something that has
Sure.
nothing to do with holiday lights, but with lights during the winter. You know, Elaine Sorensen down at the end of Connor Terrace has had the Festival of Lights for the winter months,
Yes.
not the holidays, for many years. And she's now turning it over to a committee this year. So we want to make sure this continues because so many residents have enjoyed it for so long.
Yes, I know she
And
shared
it's
that.
a few of us, a group who's working on that. And so it will happen again
Good,
this year.
good.
We're excited about that.
I know
And
she said so many folks, well, and you can see it from the bridge too.
Exactly,
So
exactly,
not
yes.
just if you live back there.
That's right.
Yeah, good. So, Town Center, there's a little bit of work going on.
I hear.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
It's not pretty right now,
no,
is it?
it's not. There are a couple of the walls down. You can see a little bit, you know, into the areas, but they are getting that new elevator ready. And that elevator is going to be directly across the hall. Basically, it's that front corner of with the library, where the resident library is. So it will be, you know, directly.
Also on the upstairs where the library is and downstairs where the old bank was?
Yes, yes, that's where.
And that's an additional elevator?
That's a second elevator, yes. So it will kind of mirror the one across the way. We're also getting ready for turnover of those spaces that were first under construction. So the new Creative Arts Room, formerly known as the Craft Room, the Potomac Cafe, the restrooms upstairs, all of that. Phase 1 is to be turned over November 1st.
Okay.
Now with the cafe, it's substantial completion, but they'll have about 30 more days of inspections and furniture arrival and things like that. So
Well,
dining
and Corey
will
told
communicate.
us that the dining staff also has to then
Yes.
get used to the new whatever
Yes.
and come up with the flow.
Yes, so they'll be
Not
communicating
for
that.
us residents yet.
Right,
Okay.
right. And with that also comes the new mail room. So if you've walked by, it used to be the old employee break room around the corner in Parkview. So we'll be communicating how are you going to get your mail.
Yeah, so
and your new
that's kind
key.
of weird, isn't it? Or at least in my head, that the mailroom is so far from the front desk. Or is that just because we're all used to it?
Well, I think we're
going to the
used
front
to
desk?
it. And, you know, some folks have asked, well, how's the front desk going to cubby stuff? And they're not
Yeah.
going to do that. We're working through some changes. But,
Okay.
but there's a lot more space to move around
Yes.
than what is currently in the space. But look for some information about when that transition is going to occur and
Okay.
how you get your key to your new,
Oh
new
yeah,
mailbox.
you have to get a different key.
Yes, and we're working on
Are
how
the
to best do
mailboxes
that.
any different size?
No, I think they're the same
Okay.
size. Yes. So I would also just put one in, last plug. I know we're
Yeah.
probably running out of time, but
We're coming to the end,
take
yes.
your survey. You know, we asked, we
Yes,
want to
by
hear
now
from you.
most people hopefully have done. Well, no,
Hopefully.
not most, because we're at what, 60%?
About- just
you
about
said yesterday?
60%,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have something to say, everybody. I know that because I hear it in the hallways and at dinner tables. So put it in writing so that the leadership hears it too.
Yes.
I think that's about it.
I think so.
Did you hit your main points?
I did.
Perfect. Well, I'm so glad you came.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.